invite Panther, Ali, Barrett, and Larry from Bootblacks to New Music Mondays. Hello and welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a while since I've seen y'all.
It's been a while since we've seen anybody, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at the show in Oakland last year. I think it was last March.
Yes.
You were on a pretty extensive tour with actors. You toured with them kind of on and off throughout the whole year last year.
Yeah, it was actually almost 2 years.
2 years.
That we were going with them pretty hard. Yeah.
I'm definitely interested in talking about the relationship between the two bands and how they relate to your new album. But first, before we get to that, holy crap, you've got a new album out. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, amazing. Well, not quite out yet. It'll be out on October 9th, but 3 singles are out and pre-order.
Fourth one coming out this Friday or last Friday, depending on when this is.
Yeah. August 21st, yeah.
Great. Congratulations. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll play that on the show because this interview is going to air on Monday, the 24th.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So pre-orders are available on Bandcamp, and we will provide the link for our viewers to click on because we love to click on stuff. But it's bootblacks.bandcamp.com.
Yep.
So that's great. Congratulations. It's, I think we lose track of what a big accomplishment that is. I mean, I'm a musician too. We're supposed to write music and put out albums and maybe it's times like these that kind of remind us how important that is. I think, Ali, you touched on that in an interview that I saw recently, the Sounds and Shadows interview, where you were debating about whether to put the album out at all because of the pandemic. And I think you came to the conclusion that people kind of need it right now.
Yeah, we were hoping that, since we couldn't go out and tour it, there was a debate about whether or not it made sense to put it out. But yeah, it's a great time for people to sit with something because people actually have time to sit with something now and really consume it and absorb it. And yeah, we think people need some sort of a connection right now, and there's a lot of different ways that you can get that these days. But one of them hopefully is, sitting with an album. People didn't really have time to sit with an album as much when life was busier.
Yeah, people's bandwidth's a little bit larger right now, and I think that people, appreciate music's role in their life a little bit more. I mean, I'm also one of those people, and so it's kind of nice to see people being, I don't know, there's a little bit less things to do and a little bit more appreciation for the things that we don't have anymore. So
let's be real.
I think it's a good year for it. So.
There's a lot of Bootblacks fans out there. It's been 3 years since they've heard a new album from you guys. So, it's specifically exciting that you came out with a new album. And
thank you.
And I'm appreciative of that. So thank you.
Well, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's talk about the new album a little bit. So it was produced by Jason Corbett of Actors, who you have a pretty long friendship with.
Yep.
And I know Shannon from Actors and also Leathers did some backing vocals.
Yeah.
I think it's great that Kennedy from Sears Q and Them Are Us Too did some backing vocals. I'm curious about what it was like to be working with a producer that you had so much camaraderie with, and such a long-standing, warm friendship with. How did that affect the outcome of the album? Is an interesting thing to maybe talk about, and also just what was it like working with them?
I feel like maybe we're the luckiest people in the world because it's kind of cool that one of your good friends and people that you just like and care about as a human being also happens to be a wizard, a complete I think amazing producer in the studio. So I think we were really lucky to be able to do that, right? To have a friend and, like you said, someone who understands our sensibilities, also be able to achieve that technically, because that's what producing is as well. It was also great to have a friend that's someone to collaborate with him, right? So we're friends, we play together on stage and go on tour and do a lot of things like that, but it's also kind of a nice opportunity to do a collaboration, which I think production actually is, right? It's a form of collaboration. So it was a wonderful experience, and I'm very proud of the album, and I love the experience of that being in the studio, and also, yeah, Shannon and Kennedy, they're amazing. They're part of our musical community, and we're all about doing collaboration and everything that we can do to make the songs better or introduce other creative people there. So like, why wouldn't we do that? And it's just awesome that everybody's on it that we love and know. And so, yeah, it's very exciting because it's not just us. It's a bit of an album that's, I think, a statement about our community as well.
Right. It was also especially kind of flattering that he came to us and wanted to do it with us. Like we didn't even have to ask him. It was just mostly from us being on tour and him seeing us playing every night. And he was just like, I want to produce your next album. Like he looked at that as his challenge to help us make this thing together.
Yeah, we've also never had production where someone has literally seen us live, 50 plus times. So I think that like gave him a kind of a great insight as a producer to be able to kind of connect those dots, right? He could do what we do live, and because he had seen it and experienced it so many times, and because he knows how to be a person in the studio to translate that to the album. So I think this album has a lot more of that live energy than others have had in the past.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you've ever had that experience before of having a friend basically who knows you so well producing your album.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other people who produce the other albums have been our friends and, like kind of know what we're after, but they haven't toured with us, you know what I mean? Like as another band and as another musician, you know what I mean? So it's definitely a unique experience. And I don't know. Yeah, again, I just say, love Jason. He's a great guy. He's a great friend. And we're very proud of what we all kind of collectively did together.
Let's talk about your connection to the Bay Area. At the Oakland show in 2019, there were just as many Bootblacks fans there as there were for the headliners, actors, which was a testament, first of all, to your music, but also to your ties to the Bay Area. You're obviously very well loved and missed here.
Did you take a survey? How do you know that?
There was a lot of logos out in the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that, but thank you.
Yeah. So you and Allie lived in the East Bay?
I lived in San Francisco, and Allie lived in San Francisco in the East Bay, right, Allie? Right?
I lived in the East Bay, San Francisco, the Mission. I don't know, I was all over the place.
Yeah, me too. I never lived in the East Bay, but I definitely, lived all over San Francisco for a number of years.
We were both there for about 10 years?
No, I was there for 4 years.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, I was there for 10 years.
Well, I knew Allie most of those 4 years, so that's why maybe it seems that way. So, but yeah, I mean, the only reason Allie and I know each other is because we both used to live in San Francisco.
Feels like a lifetime.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's been, it's probably been about over 17 years. So, I don't know. That's definitely where our roots come from. That's where we know each other. That's where we had our friendships start, and the musical journey for us together, which started in San Francisco
with Holy Kiss.
Yep.
With the Holy Kiss, yeah. We should not mention that because our dear friends who were in that band, one of them is no longer with us, but also another one is playing in a great band, Houses of Heaven. And but yeah, that's kind of our roots, and we started there, and whatever long journey it's sort of been, I would say that's sort of its origin point.
Yeah. And how did the move to New York City happen?
You want to tell the story?
Well, yeah. No, you go for it. I talk a lot.
I mean, a few times, but it was really late one night in the Amsterdam airport at the end of a European tour with the Holy Kiss. He and I stayed up all night watching the gear while everyone else slept on the floor in the airport so we could catch our flight in the morning. It was a really early flight, like 6 a.m. And we were just, talking, and you could drink in the airport, which was wonderful. So we were just sitting there making conversation, whatever. And we started just kind of kicking ideas around about moving to New York and starting a band. And I just remember that night we were like, okay, let's do it. And then we just did it,
Yeah. I think it was the idea of just being in an impasse in our life where we were just looking to do something new. And it's not a slight against the Bay Area, but just sort of kind of doing something else with our life geographically and creatively. And so, yeah. But again, we do owe a debt of service to Maddie and other people who kind of put us together and started a great friendship and musical relationship. So
Right.
it's important. So
yeah, absolutely. And so Larry and Barrett, you two are originally from New York City, is that right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. What are some other bands?
Boys.
What other bands that you played in before Bootblacks?
Oh well, Larry's probably been in more bands than I have.
Too many to mention.
Yeah, it's a long laundry list of
one of which was Van Halen, actually.
My hair is flattened a lot since then. Yeah, all varying genres and styles and all over the place. So, it just kind of goes to show you our tastes in music is extremely varied. And I think that's it bleeds into what we do with Bootblacks. New York is it's in the DNA of this band, that's for sure.
Right.
And Larry comes from a more like a hardcore background, which I think is kind of great because he's played in all kinds of different bands. He's played in, bands that are more post-punk. He's played in shoegaze bands like Asobi Sexu, but he comes from a hardcore background. And I love that because he's a really hard player. Yes. And it's just really fun to play on stage with him. Right. And I think that the energy did come through really well on the album.
Oh, it very much did. The drums are so vibrant on the 3 singles that have been released so far. They're great. Like, it's one of the highlights of the songs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about Larry.
So since Fragments came out, have there been any more like recent influences, bands or solo musicians that you have discovered and gotten into that may have influenced the composition and of your parts and the performance of your parts on the new record that maybe were not there before?
Well, I'm just gonna gush on Larry for another minute because, well, honestly, he was a big.
This is a video interview, so be careful.
Yeah, he was a big factor. It was his first album with us. Fragments. He wasn't in the band then.
Yeah.
So he contributed a lot. Not just drums, just tons of ideas and
songwriting ideas and drum playing. Because, yeah, definitely. I think you're totally right to say that, Barrett, because I think we have different influences, and at least personally, I don't feel good at pinning those down, but I definitely think one of the biggest new influences on the album is just having Larry in the band as a songwriter and drummer.
Yep. Yeah, take another bow.
That's okay. You can see he's very quiet because he's a humble man, but it's the dead truth.
There's a lot of really great bands in the scene right now, whatever the scene is, that we just keep hitting the same festivals with these like wonderful bands who are also wonderful human beings. And I definitely think that we all pull a little from each other, we must, just being around each other so much. And
there's an energy for sure.
I'm never
camaraderie and that sort of vibe. And, I'm hoping it goes both ways and maybe we're influencing them as well. It's been great though. The last couple of years have been a noticeable difference in the scene, just with all these new bands coming out and people being really supportive of it.
Yeah, I'm never sure how many eggs are in the cake, so it's always hard for me to parse out what's getting in there. But I guess we want to give Jason some more love too. We're on the road with the actors a lot, so that's probably in there somehow as well this year for sure.
Yeah, well, his influence is definitely on the album. Yeah. We wanted it to be,
which is right, A-OK.
Yeah, you can hear it definitely. They should have an album coming out pretty soon as well as and Leathers too.
Yeah, it's interesting because they all sound like Bootblacks songs, so I don't know what happened. I've heard them already, so that's not true, but whatever.
That's funny. So then you're working on new material now. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is our first time like in a writing process where we're not able to get in a room together, on a regular schedule of any type. So it's been kind of an interesting virtual writing process. It's just getting its feet off the ground, but it does. This year has been super challenging. So I'm excited about what we've started so far, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's
well,
it's
logistically, what does it look like logistically when you can't get into the same room for rehearsal?
We live in the same house.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
He's been uploading like ideas to Dropbox, and then I'll grab them and I'll throw some guitar on them, and then I'll put them back up, and then they'll pop in and go, oh, I like this. What if you did this here? Like, what if you extended this part, or, kind of give different ideas, and then I'll make revisions and send it back. So we're just kind of.
I mean, it's very similar to how we would work in a studio. Yeah. It just takes a little longer. Yeah. You don't get that instant gratification and go, that. You got to put it out there, wait a few hours, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you don't get the gratification of it being loud in a rehearsal space and feeling mad. So it's a little bit more isolated, but in a way, I think, looking on the, it's not even that, it's a bright side, but looking at it from a different angle, it's interesting to hear listening to something that's more isolated, right? So something that's more clean, coming from a computer recording rather than kind of reacting to it, with an amp blasting in your face. So I don't, if it changes things, I don't know if it's for better or worse. It's just a different process, but just like everyone else, we're trying to adapt to the rest of the year and how everything works. So maybe this will be an interesting statement from these times for us. So
right, yeah, document.
Yeah.
Larry, how are you doing the drums? Are you programming them right now, or do you have your kit set up someplace where you can play it?
No, just programming.
Yeah,
he's Mr. 808 these days.
Just easier.
Cool. Yeah, well, we got to do what we've got to do.
Yeah.
Very excited about the album coming out on October 9th. Again, pre-sales are available and up on the Bandcamp page, and we will provide links to that and all of your videos and your Facebook page and everything. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been amazing. Big fan, and really nice to see your faces again for the first time in over a year.
Yes, yeah. It's nice. This is any type of this stuff is great. So
we definitely miss being on tour and getting out to all these places that we frequent quite a bit, and we have so many friends in all these places, and that's the joy of touring, right? Is running into you guys everywhere, and so yeah, at least we have this for now, and
we'll see you soon, everybody.
Yeah, there we go.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, thank you. We'll see you back in the East Bay hopefully someday soon. And
of course.
Get there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us on New Music Mondays.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Hope you liked that video. If so, please like and subscribe to receive notifications when we upload more content. New Music Mondays is a live stream show every Monday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/DaveyBonesOakland. It features myself and a weekly guest DJ spinning new releases in the world of dark music, post-punk, goth, dark wave, as well as interviews with the people that make the music happen. So it's a lot of fun. Make sure to join us live. Again, that's every Monday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., or actually about 9:30 Pacific time. The audio will always be uploaded the next day to my Mixcloud page, mixcloud.com/DaveyBonesOakland. And thanks for watching the video on YouTube. The interviews will all be uploaded to the YouTube channel, as well as an occasional kind of behind the scenes video as well. All right. Thanks again.